Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Lionel. Yeah, I'm your host for LT Productions. You are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Raising Kanan. This is the season premiere of season 4, episode 1. I'm so glad they're back. Lord, y'all took a long time. But it's been about a year since y'all been gone. But Lord, y'all used to come in around November or so. So, look, after that writer's strike, everything been pushed back. But anyways, I'm glad you're back. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. In support of me, please like this video and you can share it. If you are new to this channel, welcome, and you can subscribe. You can leave your comments below. So let's get into this episode. Okay, so what we already had learned is that Unique is alive and well. Well, we wanted to go back in time as in a way to find out how Unique got to this place of being alive and coming back into society. So we go back 3 months prior. 3 months prior to Ronnie being unalived and also our good and faithful detective being unalived. We see Ronnie and his get up from the place from where, not Ronnie, Unique, get up from this place of where he was thrown by Ronnie. He calls someone. The dude comes and gets him and takes him to a doctor that is a veterinarian. I thought that was a weird choice, but I mean, a vet is still a doctor. They just specialize with animals, but still able to, I guess, still help humans. So anyways, the doctor is trying to get him care. The dude doesn't know what to do and thinks that Unique needs to be at home because he can't really handle all the bills. And the doctor was like, look, he's going to need a lot of rehabilitation. He needs to go someplace and get that done. However, the dude was like, look, he's been known to be unalived and nobody can really know that he is alive. So he takes him home and tries to nurse him back to health. Because they said also you don't know what type of state his mental is after being in this type of condition. He could snap out and all this good stuff. Are you really able to handle that? Dude was not really focused on that. So anyways, Unique kind of wants to reveal himself, but the dude was like, hold off. Right now it's probably best for you to stay undercover and let them still think that you are alive so you can find out what is going on. He was learning stuff concerning Rock. Rock had taken over his territories. It's like she was watching me build up stuff and then she just took it over. She said that she was done with the whole organization. But now she's back in. Well, you don't know all the facts, Unique, and you're just going off of what you see. And I understand that to a certain degree. He knew that Ronnie and Kanan were working together and he's trying to put two and two together and connect. This is all Rock's doing, but you don't know the whole story. He did blame Ronnie for a lot of it, but now he's looking at Rock kind of crazy. In the meanwhile, the club that Uncle Luke and the woman that he was revitalizing, he's allowing our dude, Lord, Kanan's friend. Now he's starting to rap and he's rapping Streets Need a Body. Now probably people think that it's old, but that was a good hit. I wanted to hear Jukebox sing, but whatever. At the same time, Jukebox girlfriend and Kanan, they're talking. First Kanan thought that, well, she was interested in Kanan, but really it was in Rock. So possibly she's bisexual, but more into not Rock, Jukebox or whatever. So she's just asking questions, you know, who is this guy, Uncle Lou there, you know, we all family, blah, 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 blah. And she's asking questions about Nicole. Is she a cool girl? Is she pretty? Kanan was like, I guess, as far as the pretty part. I mean, Nicole is white. I'm sure that there is some type of biasness, prejudice in regards to her looks or whatever. Jukebox comes back to the table and the girl says, you know, you're coming over for dinner, right? And she said, yeah. Excuse me, don't mean to be rude. I'm killing two birds with one stone. Um, um, Lord, why am I not remembering people's names? The other uncle, Rock's brother, gets a phone call from Tony Danza's character that's on here. He wants to meet up outside of Rock. He's got a situation with his brother-in-law. His brother-in-law has been cheating on his sister. I guess it would have been cool if he was not publicly embarrassing her. So he wants him to have a talk with him and just do things outside of Rock. He wants personal business outside of what's going on with the drug business and all that good stuff. Our guy ends up, oh my God, I cannot remember his name, and I don't know why. Uncle Marvin, sorry. Uncle Marvin, to handle that, and he agrees to that. Obviously, this is going to be a subplot that probably is going to cause some friction between Rock and Marvin down the line, but who knows. Rock got Kanan back in school, but he is flunking out on purpose. But the teachers aren't letting him give up that fast, and he's got to write this paper. He was trying to write a paper that the teacher didn't ask him to do. Basically, he needs to write about one of his grandparents. And he was saying, you know, everyone's dead and da-da-da-da-da. And she said that I've been in contact with Rock, and Rock says that you do have a wonderful story concerning your grandparents, and you need to do it. Meanwhile, we find out that Rock was pregnant. Guess by who? Unique. Rock decides she's not going to keep the baby, and she goes on and handles that. I'm being discreet because I am on YouTube. And I can't say certain things. So anyways, Rock goes and handles it. I think, I don't know how it is now. But at least back then, this was the early 90s, where if you do take care of that baby and unalive it, you do have to get a social worker to at least deal with your emotions of having, of making the decision not to have the baby. Rock has it, and the only person that knows about it is Juke, because she comes and picks her up and takes her home. I was like, oh Lord, why y'all making these teenagers have such huge responsibilities? Of course, Rock and Juke, they have their own bond, and that's cool, but at the same point, like, what? Yeah, that's crazy. But anyways, Juke, she goes over to her girlfriend's, and the parents are trying to ask all these questions, you know. So what do your parents do? Well, my mother is deceased, and my dad does a bit of everything. And then at that point, the girlfriend cuts in and says, you know, Uncle Marvin's very hilarious. He makes all these jokes, da-da-da-da-da. And they're trying to get more into Juke's life to see what are her plans and all that. And Juke was like, well, I would like to just stick with the group. They were like, well, that's good for now as a hobby, but, you know, I'm sure that you have something in line as far as college and all that. Long pause and all that, so that makes her ponder a little bit more. We'll get into her a little bit deeper. We find out that Rock, she hired a lawyer, and that the FBI and all of them, there's no evidence against her, so they're off of her back for now. The lawyer says, you know, you guys got to stay on the straight and narrow. She goes back inside. They're at the precinct, and she's at the vending machine, and we see him talking to her baby daddy. Well, not looking at her baby daddy. I was like, wait, I thought he was deceased. What happened here? Detective. So anyways, I had to remember that this was 3 months prior. So Kanan was writing this paper. He didn't want to go to Rock to ask any questions about his grandfather. So he talks to his dad, and he says, you know, I want to know about your parents. And he said, you know, that'd be cool, but this would open up. People start asking questions, and knowing that you are not DEF CON's father, and you don't want that opened up about you, correct? Because then you're going to be known as that your father is a cop, right? So you need to go and find out stuff about your mom's grandparents. So Kanan goes and talks to her grandmother, his grandmother, which is cool because we haven't known that much about the parents, because they're just around while Rock is doing all this other stuff. I mean, while the children are running this drug business, that she still asks for money. You know those churchgoers where they ask for money out of their children, knowing that what they're doing, but still looking down on them? It's kind of weird. There's a lot of them that do that. Or they give them passes because they do that type of business. As long as their rent is paid, or when I ask for money, that you're there. So anyways, the grandmother starts telling different stories concerning the grandfather. The grandfather did have a lot of businesses going on until he did what he did. I think, as far as what they're alluding to, it looks like he unalived himself. I think. Then Kanan moves on to Uncle Marvin. Uncle Marvin starts off with a lot of anger towards his dad because he felt like what his dad did was selfish, and that's why I thought he was alluding to possibly unaliving himself. And then Kanan was like, "You don't have any good memories of him?" And she said, "Yeah." First, Marvin was like, "Look, I had to step up and had to basically raise the family. Lou was a baby, and Rock was doing her thing, you know, but I always thought that it was Rock that had to step up. She had to run this business in order to put food on the table. So whatever. I guess Marvin and Rock had to do things together. I don't know. But anyways, to make things work for the Thomas family." So he said that he really loved his father, da-da-da-da-da. Lou talks about his father's theatrical side and him playing the horn and all that. He didn't speak of anything really negative about him, which was cool to hear. But I'm glad that we're getting part of that because it seemed like that there was some missing plot to me. But y'all can let me know in the comments how y'all felt about not really knowing what was going on with the patriarch and the matriarch in the family. Let's see what else. So Marvin goes and has a talk with the brother-in-law of Tony Danza's character. He ends up punching him in the face and just saying, "Look, don't be disrespecting your wife like that." Da, 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 da. He reports back to Tony Danza's character and he says, "Good job, and I do owe you one." That's why I believe that there's going to be some friction between him and Rock later on. Let's see, what else? At this point, Unique has been nursed back to health. Oh, never mind. Hold on. Juke goes and talks with Nicole's dad. You know that they have a bond. And she says, you know, when I tried out for this group and I'm now in this group, and but I thought that was over with, but whatever. But that was 3 months prior, so I think by the end of this episode we'll be up to speed as to what's going on. But anyways, he's gonna buy 20 records, but she also wanted to know about his experience of being in the Army. He said, you know, it was great or whatever, but he was trying to steer her away from going into the Army because it's not really favorable for people like her, and I think like for women and also for black women, you know. And he said, you know, stick with it with this group. But obviously there's going to be a shift for Juke because, you know, what happened at the end of the season as far as her dreams being taken away. Now, I need to know when we're going to talk about Kanan because I could have sworn that his girlfriend was pregnant at the end of last season, but we are 3 months prior, so I guess we're going to talk about that later. Anyways, moving forward, that was about it until we get to the ending scene where Unique, who is now at a better state after being in that trying to rejuvenate himself, we see him back at the warehouse after Ronnie has been deceased and also Rock's baby daddy and Kanan's, I can't remember these people's names, I forgot them, but whatever. So obviously we're up for an interesting ride and I'm ready for it. There was a scene where Lou was drunk again and his partner in the business for the club would not let him drive and took him back inside, so that was pretty good. His old girlfriend came back and was giving him advice about, you know, I really hope that you forgive yourself for stuff that you weren't even responsible for, that you couldn't control. So hopefully we're on a healing path for Lou, and that's all I really want for him. Any predictions as to what you think that this season is going to be about? I'm excited. I'm in for the long haul. Sorry for the noise in the background. But I'm interested to see what happens. I saw even a picture of Juke being in the army, so it looks like that's her path and where he's going to go to. And of course, Kanan doesn't want anything to do with Rock. Rock wanted to tell him about of his grandfather, and he still didn't want to hear it. It's so crazy how that things have changed between those two. But anyways, y'all let me know in the comments how you thought of this episode and what you think is going to happen into future episodes for this season. We've already been renewed for season 5, so congratulations. In the back of my mind, I'm holding space that they're probably going to cancel it next season. Not that this is not a good show, but after how they was doing the other Power series, I don't know what's going to happen. So hopefully that they get renewed again, but how stars act sometimes, I'm not holding out hope. But anyways, I'm excited. Again, please like and share this video, and you can subscribe and leave your comments below. Until the next one, peace.